Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 5. Baba's return with Chand Patil's marriage party, welcomed and addressed as Sai, contact with other saints, his dress and daily routine, the story of the Padukas, wrestling bout with Modin and change in life, turning water into oil, the pseudo Guru Jawhar Ali. Return with Chand Patil's marriage party. As hinted in the last chapter, I shall now describe first how Sai Baba returned to Shirdi after his disappearance. There lived in the Aurangabad district, that is Nizam state, in a village called Dhoop, a well to do Mohammedan gentleman by name Chand Patil. While he was making a trip to Aurangabad, he lost his mare. For 2 long months he made a diligent search but could get no trace of the lost mare. After being disappointed, he returned from Aurangabad with the saddle on his back. After traveling 4 course and a half, he came on the way to a mango tree under the foot of which sat a Ratna, queer fellow. He had a cap on his head, wore kafni long robe, and had a satka short stick under his armpit, and he was preparing to smoke a chilim, that is pipe. On seeing Chand Patil pass by the way, he called out to him and asked him to have a smoke and to rest a little. The fakir asked him about the saddle. Chand Patil replied that it was one of his mare which was lost. The queer fellow or fakir asked him to make a search in the nala close by. He went, and the wonder of wonders, he found out the mare. He thought that this fakir was not an ordinary man, but an Avelia, a great saint. He returned to the fakir with the mare. The chilim was ready for being smoked, but two things were wanting: fire to light the pipe, and water to wet the chapi, that is, piece of cloth through which smoke is drawn up. The fakir took his prong and thrust it forcibly into the ground, and out came a live burning coal, which he put on the pipe. Then he dashed the satka on the ground, from whence water began to ooze. The chapi was wetted with the water, was then wrung out and wrapped round the pipe. Thus everything being complete, the fakir smoked the chilim and then gave it to also to Chand Patil. On seeing all this, Chand Patil was wonderstruck. He requested the fakir to come to his home and accept his hospitality. Next day he went to the Patil's house and stayed there for some time. The Patil was a village officer of Dhup. His wife's brother's son was to be married, and the bride was from Shirdi. So Patil made preparations to start for Shirdi for the marriage. The fakir also accompanied the marriage party. The marriage went off without any hitch. The party returned to Dhup, except the fakir alone stayed in Shirdi and remained there forever. How the fakir got the name Sai? When the marriage party came to Shirdi, it alighted at the foot of a banyan tree in Bhagata Malaspati's field near Kaduba's temple. The carts were loosened in the open courtyard of Kanduba's temple, and the members of the party descended one by one, and the fakir also got down. Bhagat Malsapati saw the young fakir getting down and accosted him, Ya Sai, welcome Sai. Others also addressed him as Sai, and thenceforth he became known as Sai Baba. Contact with other saints. Sai Baba began to stay in a deserted masjid. One saint named Devidas was living in Shirdi many years before Baba came there. Baba liked his company. He stayed with him in the Maruti temple in the Chavadi and sometimes lived alone. Then came another saint by name Janki Das. Baba spent most of his time in talking with him, or Janki Das went to Baba's residence. So also one Vaishya householder saint from Puntambe by name Gangagir always frequented Shirdi. When he first saw Sai Baba carrying pitchers of water in both hands for watering the garden, he was amazed and said openly, "Blessed is Shri that it got this precious jewel. This man is carrying water today, but he is not an ordinary fellow. As this land, Shirdi, was lucky and meritorious, it secured this jewel." So also one famous saint by name Anandant of Yevala Math, a disciple of Akalkot Maharaj, came to Shirdi with some Shirdi people. When he saw Sai Baba, he said openly, "This is a precious diamond in reality. Though he looks like an ordinary man, he is not a eager, ordinary stone but a diamond. You will realize this in the near future." Saying this, he returned to Yevala. This was said while Sai Baba was a youngster. Baba's dress and daily routine. In his young days, Sai Baba grew hair on his head, never had his head shaved. He dressed like an athlete. When he went to Rahata, 3 miles from Shirdi, he brought with him small plants of marigold, jay, and jui, and after cleaning, he planted and watered them. A devotee by name Vaman Tatya supplied him daily with 2 earthen pitchers. With these, Baba himself used to water the plants. He drew water from the well and carried the pitchers to his shoulders on his shoulders. In the evening, the pitchers were kept at the foot of the neem tree. As soon as they were placed there, they were broken, as they were made of raw earth and not baked. Next day, Tatya supplied 2 fresh pitchers. This course went on for 3 years, and with Sai Baba's toil and labor, there grew a flower garden. On this site at present stands the big mansion Samadhi Mandir of Baba, which is now frequented and used by so many devotees. The story of Paduka's footprints under the neem tree. A devotee of Akalkot Maharaj by name Bhai Krishnanji Ali Bakkar worshipped the photo of Akalkot Maharaj. He once thought of going to Akkalkot, Sholapur district, taking the darshana of the Padukas, that is, footprints of the Maharaj, and offering his sincere worship there. But before he could go there, he got a vision in his dream. Akkalkot Maharaj appeared in the vision and said to him, "Now Shirdi is my resting place. Go there and offer your worship." So Bhai changed his plan and came to Shirdi, worshipped Baba, stayed there for 6 months, and was happy. As a reminiscence of this vision, etc., he prepared the Padukas and installed them on an auspicious day of Shravan Shaka, 1834, that is 1912 AD, under the neem tree with due ceremonies and formalities conducted by Dada Kelkar and Upasani. One Dikshit Brahmin was appointed for worship, and the management was entrusted to devotee Sagun. Complete version of the story. Mr. BVDO, retired Mamlatdar of Thana and a great devotee of Sai Baba, made enquired about this matter with Sagun Meru Naik and Govind Kamalakar Dikshit, and has published a full version of the Padukas in Sai Lila, Volume 11, Number 1, page 25. It runs as follows. In 1834 Shaka, that is 1912 AD, one Dr. Rama Rao Kothare of Bombay came to Shirdi for Baba's darshana. His compounder and his friend Bhai Krishnaji Ali Bakkar accompanied him. The compounder and Bhai became intimate with Sagun Meru Naik and G.K. Dikshit. While discussing things, these persons thought that there must be some memorial of the fact of Sai Baba's first coming to Shirdi and sitting under the holy neem tree. They thought of installing Baba's padukas there and were going to make them of some rough stones. Then Bhai's friend, the compounder, suggested that if this matter be made known to his master, Dr. Ramarao Kothare, who would prepare nice padukas for this purpose. All liked the proposal, and Dr. Kothare was informed of it. He came to Shirdi and drew a plan of the padukas. He went to Upasani Maharaj in Kandoba's temple and showed him his plan. The latter made very many improvements, drew lotuses, flowers, conch, disc, man, etc., and suggested that the following shloka verse regarding neem trees, greatness, and Baba's yogi powers as inscribed. The verse was as follows: Sada nimbarvikshaya muladi vasat sudasravinam tiktamapi apriyam tam tarum kalpavrikshatikam sadayatam sadayantam namamishwaram sadgurum sainatham. Upasani's suggestions were accepted and carried out. The Padakas were made in Bombay and sent to Shirdi with the compounder. Baba said that they should be installed on the Purnima, 15th of Shravan. On that day at 11 a.m., G.K. Dikshit brought them on his head from Kandoba's temple to the Dwarka Mai Masjid in procession. Baba touched the Padukas, saying that these are the feet of the Lord, and asked the people to install them under foot of the neem tree. A day before, one Parsi devotee of Bombay named Pasta Shet sent 25 rupees by money order. Baba gave this sum for the installation of the Padukas. The total expense of the installation came up to 100 rupees, out of which 75 rupees were collected by subscriptions. For For the first 5 years, G.K. Dikshit worshipped the Padakas daily, and then this was done by Lakshman Kacheshwar Jakadi. In the first 5 years, Dr. Kothare sent 2 rupees per month for lighting, and he also sent the railing round the Padakas. The expense of bringing the railing from the station to Shirdi, that is rupees 7 to 8, presently $7 rupees 50 paisa, and roofing was paid by Shagun Meru Nayak. Now Jakadi, Nana Pujari, does the worship, and Sagun Meru Naik offers the Naivedya and lights the evening lamps. Bhai Krishnaji was originally a devotee of Akalkot Maharaj. He had come to Shirdi at the installation of Padukas in Shaka 1834, and he had come to Shirdi at the installation of the Padukas in Shaka 1834 on his way to Akalkot. He wanted to go to Akalkot after taking the darshan of Baba. He asked Baba's permission for this. Baba said, "Oh, what is there in Akalkot? Why do you go there? The incumbent Maharaj of that place is here, myself." Hearing this, Bai did not go to Akalkot. He came to Shirdi off and on after the installation of the Padakas. Mr. BVDO concluded that Hemadpant did not know these details. Had he known them, he would not have failed to depict them in his Satcharitra.